Okay, so I'm gonna be doing some while I do this, and you get treated to the terrible. You know what? We're not gonna negativize this. We're gonna just do what we do. Okay, so it's hard because I can see myself, and that's generally who I'm looking at during these things, but the camera's there. So I'll aim to look at the camera, but chances are I'll be looking here. All right, also, yeah, terrible angle. So I'm gonna put this stuff in the sink because it was off to the side. Not that you care. So something that's happening is, it's interesting. It's always interesting, right? The anxiety attacks are still here, and maybe have increased in number and frequency, but I'm able to actually catch it before it reaches. I don't know how to describe it other than that point. Yeah, oh crap, we need some more of that, huh? I can turn the water on. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. Over here. So they're less in intensity. I'm not yelling so far today. And I'm not grabbing anything or I was like that, just tensing. And then I take a moment, deep breath, calm myself down. They by the random pangs of anxiety were not so random. They were attached to thoughts about certain people or certain events. And generally, a certain person specifically, but I've managed to stop thinking about that person. And I mean, clearly, obviously, with everything that's happened, it wasn't about that person at all. That person was actually not even secondary, not even tertiary to the problem. Which is probably why it was him that set everything off, right? And thank God it was something that's like that, and not something that's actually really central in my life. Although, because of the obsessive thoughts, I've kind of made it central in my life. But I'm working on that and working on recognizing that even though I have obsessive thoughts about this person, it's not really about them. That used to be a thing, right? Obsessive thoughts about a person means that I love them and I need them and I can't be without them, right? That was the thing. This is a terrible, terrible angle. Is that gonna help at all? We'll see. So washing the dishes. I'm going to do the dishes to do the dishes, like TikTok Han. I am not going to say anything negative, because if I say I hate the dishes, the feeling of comes up. But if I'm just I can feel however I feel. And I can think however I think, but I'm not going to say it. And I'm going to focus on a different thought, which is the way to do it. So, or come into the moment. I'm working hard to come into the moment. What I'm here to say right now, though, and I'm puffy today. Yeah, puffy. Not attractive, and that's it's funny. The part that bothers me the most when I'm on camera is not looking good. It's but whatever. I mean, whatever, right? Whatever. It's real. It's Sorry. See, it's stuff like that. I am working on not doing. That's a terrible thing to think about yourself. You shouldn't think that about yourself. Monitoring my excitement levels still. I've gotten off track with that. But I think I need to get the excitement levels down for a while and have changed the baseline, right? Change the baseline, because the excitement is or turns into easily anxiety, and we don't want to agitate me right now. It's a bad idea. So what I've noticed is they have the thoughts the feelings have detached themselves from that one specific thing and are attaching themselves randomly to different things, which is like, ugh, like not completely randomly, but I gotta get more of this. Like my niece and my nephew came over the other day to drop off those stars that you saw, and there's snowflakes that we're gonna put up in the hallway, and I love them, and it's so cute. And you know, they were like, "Oh, we want to see your bedroom," and I was like, I mean, I had made the bed, because I'll tell you that story in just a minute. It was relatively clean from, you know, tidy from how I normally keep it, but I mean, there was, see, this is the thing with me, right? Maybe that'll teach me. There were like wrappers of cough drops, cough drop wrappers on the floor near the bed that I just never picked up. Like that's not showing respect to yourself. It's really not. So I was thinking about that, like, you know, like how they probably went back and told their mom, how they probably talk about it with my brother. You know, and it's just like, I know they're both such sweet kids, and I know that they're concerned for me, and I don't like the model I'm showing them. But maybe it's best for them to see this, you know what I mean? Like, to be aware. You know, it is. It's good for them to be aware of this. But anyway, you know, and they see my place, and it's, you know, it's my place. It's not fancy. There's nothing fancy except for my office, which is where I hang out. And they liked that. But I was thinking about them and thinking about how they came here and thinking about how they saw my room. And because I know they're going to talk about it later. And like, the idea of them pitying me, like my 11-year-old nephew and my 13-year-old niece, the idea that they're like, aw, poor Auntie Jen, like pity, that's a horrible thought to me. Like, oh my God, that's not what I want. That's the last people on earth I want to pity me. Ugh. So I thought about that, and my anxiety randomly spiked up. Boom. Okay. And I'm going around. So it's attached itself to really any uncomfortable thought that comes through my brain, which my brain loves uncomfortable thoughts. So it's been happening like that. But if I go too long without an uncomfortable thought, it will just pick something at random. Like it'll something good. It's fine. Like I was just at this virtual networkers meeting, and it's a small group, and we had the opportunity to talk about things, and they all kind of, it was cool that they all just kind of jumped in and helped me out. Yeah, so they all kind of jumped in and helped me out, even though, I was brand new to the group. And, we talked about actually this show, because I know I need to talk about my business, but something has to be done with this. The thing that I'm waiting for, like I can slow my breath, but the weird thing I'm waiting for is for my heart to slow down. I don't want to skimp on that, because I'm worried about you guys like just watching me breathe slowly. Because that doesn't train my heart to slow down. So just give me a second. Oh. The new medication I was on, I stopped taking it, but like it definitely made my heart rate go faster. It's like, but you're supposed to calm anxiety. So it started. So I went to this networking meeting. It was really cool, really great people. They had, they spent the entire last half hour discussing my, the show and what I can do to improve and get the followers over to the page, which I can do that later. What? Yeah, I gotta go faster. Go faster. These are not that many dishes. Go faster. Well, it's only been 5 minutes. I'm not gonna put the pressure on myself. I mean, like, I will increase my, I don't want to say speed, because speed is kind of anxiety, right? I'll just increase. I don't know what the word is right now. I'm gonna increase it. The amount of time it takes me to do this, or decrease the amount of time it takes me to do this. Okay. But like I came out here and it went really, really well. Like cool people, like I said, cool people, really helpful, really caring. I mean, I met some people that, you know, like I definitely want to follow up with. Obviously, you always want to follow up, but I mean, there are, you know, some cool people in there. And I came out here to like grab something to eat and do the dishes. And I had a thought about it. I felt a little bad that I took up everybody's time, and I said that a couple times, and then they're like, "This is what this is for. This is what we do during this part." Like, all right. I don't even remember what the negative thought is that I had about it, but it was something to do with my behavior, per usual. My brain looks for things to be embarrassed about. It looks for things to make me feel bad about myself. It's like, why? Why? If we're gonna have some reticular activation here, can't it be on happy thoughts, like good thoughts about me? So I'm finding it very strange that my brain's doing this, because it's just random pangs, and it's coming. They're coming about, I would say, at least 2 a minute. When I'm talking to someone, I'm distracted, not so much. But when I'm sauntering around, just doing my thing, where did that go? They come up, you know what I mean? And I'm also working on staying in the moment, so being present, focusing on my 5 senses, and that's good. I don't know. So I'm gonna tell you something that you're gonna think, well, whatever you think is what you think, because you know what? Not everybody is gonna like this show or me, which is hard for me. I don't like it when people don't like me. You know, it's not that I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it, but it's more like, why? Why? Everybody likes me. I don't know what's up with our internet the past couple of days, but it's not been great. So kind of funny. I was listening to Carol Mays the other day, Anatomy of the Spirit. I talked a little bit about that I think my last time. I don't know. But one of the things she mentions, she kind of says, almost not offhand, but like doesn't stay too long on it. She says that we should, you know, like, what if marriage, because she's talking about the sacraments, in a, you know, bringing them into comparing them with basically Eastern and Western religions or thoughts. Religions. Anyway, so she's talking about marriage, and she's like, well, you know, what about marriage to yourself? You know, why don't we really ever think about that? And I was like, you know, yeah, I should be married to myself. I should do that. Like, so I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe I'll drop a contract. You know, I'll drop a contract tonight and I'll sign it. And I was like, you know, I have made contracts with myself before, and I don't take them seriously. So I was like, well, how am I going to take this seriously? I'd take this seriously if I have a wedding to myself. So the idea of me getting married to myself was born, and I know other people do this too, but like it's becoming bigger and bigger as the time as time goes on. Like we were going to do it this weekend, but for a lot of reasons we can't. And I think it's a good thing, because now we have a waiting period. I can send out evites. Now, the only 2 people coming, the only 2 people I'd invite are my housemate and Robin. And I just so, like, I assumed this about her. She's an efficient, right? Like, she's licensed or whatever it is that you have to get to actually perform a marriage ceremony. She's like, I'm an efficient. Can I be the efficient? I'm like, well, obviously. Obviously you can. And, so that's that. Then Amy, at first I was like, oh, she'll be a guest. Now I'm like, she'll be my maid of honor. We might have a bachelorette party. I'm going to go buy myself a ring, like a nice one. I mean, obviously I can't afford like thousands of dollars. And I don't want it to look like a wedding ring. But a few hundred. When this client comes through, maybe people would say that's not the best way, it's not the best use of your money. But I disagree. Because I think this ring is it like everything about this. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, well, it gives us time. It gives us time to get to figure out what we're gonna wear and to get the floral arrangements. I was like, oh my God! Every time something is added onto it, I think it's hilarious. I mean, it is, but it's also, when I do it, it's also gonna make me take this more seriously, like, and really, really like I'm gonna be taking vows to myself. I'm writing my own vows, and and that's serious. Like, and I'm gonna treat it, I kind of bifurcate sometimes, or there's 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 different people. I'm air quoting here, but you know what I mean. Like, I talk to myself in my head a lot. I don't know how many. I know people do that all the time out loud. Ow, ow, ow. But I don't know how many people do it kind of constantly in their head. And that's something I'm working on as well. Oh, we need this. Is that soapy enough? Ooh, that is full of water. I'm gonna seriously take this seriously. Like I'm actually marrying someone. That's how much it's gonna, that's how much it is going to be taken seriously. Like, I'm actually marrying myself. And I know that sounds a little silly, but I think it's gonna be really good. Like, even since the time that I thought, I'll do a marriage ceremony for myself, I started thinking about myself in two parts in this. Before there was the Punisher and the Punishee. Now there's that's really annoying. Now there's the husband and the wife, right? And the husband's the one that has to prove himself, and the wife's like, So the husband's the one giving all the love, and the wife. Here's the thing: I can give love, but I'm having trouble receiving it from myself, right? So there's just a relief that comes along with being able to love someone. For me, it's just, I didn't realize it, but that's been missing. When I don't, and I love Amy and whatever, but love, devoted to, just wanting to make happy, whose happiness is important to me, and who I want to be okay all the time, and I just love, right? I haven't been able to that. It's been 2 years since I've been able to actually allow that love to leave my body, and it finally it dawned on me. I hadn't realized it was kind of a problem, but it's oh, wait a second, I can love me. And then it's gross. And then I was yeah. So I started really devoting this love that I love giving to other people. That love that just makes you feel good. You know what I mean? And it's really not in the receiving of it. It's in the giving of it. And it's a relief. It's like a dam broke. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well, if I'm the one that I gotta love, then I'm the one that I gotta love, but I'm gonna love someone. And it's just, it feels a lot better. That's kind of gross. That is kind of gross. I mean, like, but this thing isn't really, anyway. I'll get into one of those at some point. So, I'm directing this love to myself, but I am definitely not receiving it. So, like, the husband part is like, I'm going to prove it to you. And so his job is to, like, prove the seriousness, the commitment. And clearly this is not like, it's male energy, female energy, whatever. It's just like I'm the wife or the fiance, the female fiance is withholding. And she doesn't trust him. Him being the groom. The bride and the groom inside of me right now. You know, and he's like, yeah, I get that. Like, that makes sense. I have to prove myself to you. So there are a series of like vows and promises I'm making myself in self-care. And just stuff like even making the bed. Oh, I forgot to do that. I gotta do that. Even stuff like just making it because I was in a rush. Even stuff like making the bed. You know what I mean? Like just showing little things, showing myself that I actually care about it. Are we good? No. You know, and that's it's been interesting. It's been nice. You know what I mean? And I've flubbed it up a couple of times. This morning I didn't get right up, and I didn't really yesterday morning either. But the wife was okay with that. This morning she's like, "You told me you were gonna do that," and the husband's like, "I know. I'm sorry. I'll do better. You know, I promised." She's like, "I don't trust your promises." He's like, "I know. You have every reason not to. I love you, and I'm going to keep loving you. You know what? I'm going to prove it to you." She's like, We'll see about that. So, whoop. All right. Other things to do today. So, yeah, I'm doing this thing, and it's going to be fun. Funny. Where do we want to put this? Yeah, like last night. That's fantastic. That's just fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, this is all shooting. Whatever. We're gonna have to hold it. And this light, I gotta go get a warmer light. But, yeah, I don't know what's up with my skin the past couple of days. I've been taking care of it really well. Probably just getting all the gunk out of it. So, like, I'm gonna go make the bed in a minute because I promised myself that's stuff I would do. So these little promises that I make for myself, I'm going to go out of my way to look. Because if I'm married to myself, right? If I'm my own spouse, I'm going to treat me like a spouse. You know what I mean? The way I would want to treat, the way I would treat a spouse. You know what I mean? Just like love, devotion, faithfulness, adoration, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's not all of me right now. Clearly, it's the wait, that's nice, right? It's the husband part, the male part, who's like, oh, honey, I'm gonna do. Yeah. So that is what I'm doing. I will give you updates, although I probably won't invite you to the ceremony because I do have boundaries. I do have things that embarrass me, obviously, but this stuff, no. So that's what I'm doing, and these random pangs of anxiety I'm having, they're attaching themselves to all different kinds of thoughts now, and maybe it's I'm hoping it's their extinction burst. But really what it's all about right now is staying in the moment, being present. So that's what I'm gonna go do, and I'm gonna be grateful for the awesome virtual networking thing I was on this morning. It was very cool. And then I'm going to remind you guys always, every time, everywhere, that you can always choose to have a grateful day. if I can get this thing to